A lateral is an L-like consonant in which the airstream proceeds along the sides of the tongue, but it is blocked by the tongue from going through the middle of the mouth. For the most common laterals, the tip of the tongue makes contact with the upper teeth, see dental consonant, or the upper gum, see alveolar consonant, but there are many other possible places for laterals to be made. The most common laterals are approximants and belong to the class of liquids, but lateral fricatives and affricates are also common in some parts of the world. Some languages, such as the Awaija and Ilgar languages of Australia, have lateral flaps, and others, such as the Xhosa and Zulu languages of Africa, have lateral clicks. When pronouncing the labiodental fricatives F and V, the lip blocks the airflow in the center of the vocal tract, so the airstream proceeds along the sides instead. Nevertheless, they are not considered lateral consonants because the airflow never goes over the tongue. No known language makes a distinction between lateral and non-lateral labiodentals. Plosives are never lateral, but they may have lateral release. Nasals are never lateral either, but some languages have lateral nasal clicks. For consonants articulated in the throat laryngeals, the lateral distinction is meaningless, because there is no airflow over the tongue at these places of articulation. Examples: English has one lateral phoneme, the lateral approximant, L, which in many accents has two allophones. One, found before vowels as in lady or fly, is called clear L, pronounced as the alveolar lateral approximant, L, with a neutral position of the body of the tongue. The other variant, so-called dark L found before consonants or word finally, as in bold or tell, is pronounced as the velarized alveolar lateral approximant, with the tongue assuming a spoon-like shape with its back part raised, which gives the sound AW, or like resonance. In some languages, like Albanian, those two sounds are different phonemes. East Slavic languages contrast and L but do not have L. In many British accents, e.g. Cockney, dark, may undergo vocalization through the reduction and loss of contact between the tip of the tongue and the alveolar ridge, becoming a rounded back vowel or glide. This process turns tell into something like as must have happened with ta, tk, or walk wk, at some stage. A similar process happened during the development of many other languages, including Brazilian Portuguese, Old French, and Polish, in all three of these resulting in or w, whence modern French sauce is compared with Spanish salsa, or Polish wisła pronounced wisła as compared with English vistula. In Central and Venice dialects of Venetian, intervocalic, L, has turned into a semivocalic, E, so that the written word la balla is pronounced abae, ha. The orthography uses the letter L to represent this phoneme. It specifically represents not the E sound but the phoneme that is, in some dialects, E, and, in others, L. Many Aboriginal Australian languages have a series of 3 or 4 lateral approximants, as do various dialects of Irish. Rarer lateral consonants include the retroflex laterals that can be found in many languages of India and in some Swedish dialects, and the voiceless alveolar lateral fricative, found in many native North American languages, Welsh and Zulu. In Adaig and some Athabascan languages like Han, both voiceless and voiced alveolar lateral fricatives occur, but there is no approximant. Many of these languages also have lateral affricates. Some languages have palatal or velar voiceless lateral fricatives or affricates, such as Dahalo and Zulu, but the IPA has no symbols for such sounds. However, appropriate symbols are easy to make by adding a lateral fricative belt to the symbol for the corresponding lateral approximant, see below. Also, a devoicing diacritic may be added to the approximant. Nearly all languages with such lateral obstruents also have the approximant. However, there are a number of exceptions, many of them located in the Pacific Northwest area of the United States. For example, Tlingit has t, but no l. Other examples from the same area include Nuu Cha Nulth and Kootenai, and elsewhere, Chukchi and Kabardian. Standard Tibetan has a voiceless lateral approximant, usually romanized as LH, as in the name Lhasa. A uvular lateral approximant has been reported to occur in some speakers of American English. Pashto has a retroflex lateral flap. There are a large number of lateral click consonants, 17 occur in ko. Lateral trills are also possible, but they do not occur in any known language. They may be pronounced by initiating or with an especially forceful airflow. There is no symbol for them in the IPA. They are sometimes used to imitate bird calls, and they are a component of Donald Duck talk. List of laterals. Approximants. Dental lateral approximant L. Voiced alveolar lateral approximant L. Voiceless alveolar lateral approximant L. Retroflex lateral approximant. Voiced palatal lateral approximant. Voiceless palatal lateral approximant. Velar lateral approximant. Uvular lateral approximant. Fricatives. Voiceless dental lateral fricative Inwaji. Voiced dental lateral fricative allophonic Inwaji. Voiceless alveolar lateral fricative in Adig, Kabardian, Navajo, Welsh. Voiced alveolar lateral fricative in Adig, Kabardian, Mongolian, Tigik. Voiceless retroflex lateral fricative or in Toda. Voiced retroflex lateral fricative in Au. Voiceless palatal lateral fricative in Dahalo. Voiceless velar lateral fricative in Archie, Ni, Waji. Voiced velar lateral fricative in Archie, allophonic in Waji. Only the alveolar lateral fricatives have dedicated letters in the IPA. However, others appear in the extipa. Affricates. Voiceless alveolar lateral affricate in Navajo, Tlingit. Voiced alveolar lateral affricate D, allophonically in Zulu and Xhosa. Voiceless palatal lateral affricate C, perhaps prepalatal in Sandaw and Hadza. Voiced palatal lateral affricate, perhaps prepalatal in Sandaw. Voiceless velar lateral affricate K in Archie, Lagu, Kila Muji. Voiced velar lateral affricate in Lagu, Kila Muji. Flaps. Alveolar lateral flap in Wayu. Voiceless alveolar lateral flap in Waji. Retroflex lateral flap in Pashto, Awaija. Voiceless retroflex lateral flap, allophonic in Waji. Palatal lateral flap in Awaija. Velar lateral flap in Kanite and Melpa. Ejective. Alveolar lateral ejective fricative in Adig, Kabardian, Tlingit. Alveolar lateral ejective affricate T in Baslani, Navajo, Tlingit. Palatal lateral ejective affricate C in Dahalo, Sandaw, Hadza. Velar lateral ejective affricate K in Archie, Gui, Zulu. Clicks. Alveolar lateral clicks, etc., in all 5 Khoisan families and several Bantu languages. Ambiguous centrality. The IPA requires sounds to be defined as to centrality, as either central or lateral. However, languages may be ambiguous as to some consonants' laterality. A well-known example is the liquid consonant in Japanese, represented in common transliteration systems as R, which can be recognized as a post-alveolar tap, alveolar lateral flap, post-alveolar lateral approximant, post-alveolar approximant, voiced retroflex stop, and various less common forms. Lateralized consonants. A superscript is defined as lateral release. Consonants may also be pronounced with simultaneous lateral and central airflow. This is well known from speech pathology with a lateral lisp. However, it also occurs in non-disordered speech in some Southern Arabic dialects and possibly some modern South Arabian languages, which have pharyngealized non-sibilant, and, simultaneous, and possibly a sibilant, simultaneous, s. Examples are theta aim. Pawn. In the dialect of Al-Rubu. On, ed-ar. Back. And, ed-ab. Hyena. In Rijal Alma. Here the indicates simultaneous laterality rather than lateral release. Old Arabic has been analyzed as having the emphatic central lateral fricatives, eth, and. See also: delateralization, lateral release phonetics, list of phonetics topics. Notes. References. Sources.